Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of the Kicking Back podcast. Today, I am joined with the delightful Sophie Morgan. How are you, Sophie?
I'm very well, thank you.
Good. And thank you for coming onto the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's all right. And of course, we have the usual suspect at the back, Matthew Campbell.
Hi, Bradley. How you doing?
I'm very well, sir. How are you?
I'm good.
Good, really good. It's a busy day?
Yeah, a much better day today.
Okay, good. Good to hear it, man. So, Sophie, for people at home that don't know who you are, do you want to just give us a little explanation about what it is you do?
Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter. I was born in Liverpool, grew up just outside in Cheshire, and I put out my first EP when I was 19, and then I've just been putting out music ever since, really.
Cool. So how long have you been writing your own music for then?
I wrote my first song when I was 10.
10?
Yeah, it's quite young, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think because I started playing piano when I was about 6, and then loved poetry, and then just one day we were having friends round for dinner, and my mum was cooking lamb shank in the kitchen, and I would just had 10 minutes and went to the piano and wrote this song called Sometimes, which we call the lamb shank song. But yeah, that was it, and then I just started steadily writing more and more after that. And yeah, only when I was like 18 did I get the hang of it, you know.
Right, yeah.
But I put a few things online which now hopefully have been deleted.
The Lamb Shank song's not online.
It's not, but I thought the other day I listened to it because it's on my dad's old iTunes, it's somewhere hidden, and I listened to it and I thought it's not bad. I think I could rework this.
Nice. So do you come from a musical family?
Not at all. So
Okay.
my dad and my granddad love music but don't play. Nobody plays.
Right. Okay. So how did you get into it? Is that just through school or whatever?
So my granddad used to play me music in the car, and my dad used to play me music in the car. And then when I was about 4 years old, I just started attaching to MTV Music Channel and watching all the music videos, and I saw Avril Lavigne. And then I think I said I want an electric guitar and a skateboard. so I got both for a Christmas present. And my mum rang up the local music school and they said, we recommend she starts with piano because she'll just have it'll be an easier introduction to music. So I started with piano and then sort of never looked back, and I play a little bit of guitar now, but it mainly come from that. My dad just played me loads of records growing up. My granddad was more like into Frank Sinatra and Barbra Streisand and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And musicals, and then my dad was more into like folk and rock and roll basically. So yeah.
Nice. So for people that haven't heard your music before, how would you? Well, I was gonna ask you how would you describe it, but I know that a lot of people hate that question. So
Yeah.
I'll say, what sort of artists would you say you sound similar to, or have taken influence from?
I don't know. I don't know. I grew up listening to a lot of mostly male voices, so it's hard for me to pick a female that was an integral influence because it was mostly my dad just loves a low, deep male voice, so it was always what I attached to growing up. But I guess it's kind of wide. We were really into Nick Cave, Nick Drake, Van Morrison. So anything with lush, organic instrumentation just sort of pulled me in, and I've just been trying to mimic that in my own music. I've met people who played violin, or I love horns on my songs. So I just love lush instrumentation, basically.
Okay, cool. So in terms of your approach to how you would write a song, do you have a sort of set structure that you kind of go through, or is it different for different tunes?
Yeah, I have loads of notebooks and my phone is full of notes, so like I'm constantly writing lyrics. They're really important to me, you know. I think about lyrics all day, every day.
Okay.
So I'm constantly open to that, and it often comes from that. And then I'll sit at the piano. I very rarely, well, I do sit at the piano, and sometimes it comes out at the same time, and then the song begins there, and then it progresses. But it's rare. No, normally it comes from me coming up with a verse or a line that I like, and then sitting with an instrument. So I just have a thing for lyrics. Like I used to read all the lyric booklets religiously for all the CDs in the car. I just love rhyme, and I am in love with words. So
Okay. Do you have any like particular lyricists that you think are the one?
I think Matt from The National is an unbelievable lyricist.
Okay.
I really adore just some of the things his descriptions. I really love a lot of his lyrics. And do you know the band Lamb Chop? Have you heard of them?
No, I haven't.
Oh well, I forget his name. I think his name's Kurt, the lead guy in that band. He's got some beautiful lyrics, and obviously Joni, I adore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really zero in on the words.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. It's nice to meet someone else is the same, because a lot of people are like, do you hear those lyrics? And people are like, what? Like, I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
It's like, why? And then that's what it's all about to me, anyway. And yeah, word painters. Nick Drake's amazing for that as well.
Yeah, and I love his nature reference. Like I love the countryside, and I especially love listening to Nick Drake outside in the summer, because I just feel like he encapsulates almost every season for me anyway, but especially the spring, the summer, the changing of into the autumn. He just paints that so well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see. I agree.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt there. George just tried to Google lamb chops.
Nice one.
Was obviously met by lots of pictures of lamb chops.
Let's have a look at what. Yeah, here's lamb chop. That's lamb chop. Nice. Yeah. So what? Well, whilst we're on the topic of lamb chop, like what's their vibe? What's their style?
I guess it's similar to the National's earlier stuff, which was, well, saying that now he's really incorporated using a vocoder, so it's gone a little bit more modern. But before it was all really lush, beautiful arrangements, and he's got a really low baritone voice, and he often almost sounds like conversational. He speaks it, and I saw them play at an amazing venue in Liverpool called the Casimir. I don't know if you've ever went there before it got demolished.
Right.
It was a magical venue that we had, which has sadly been lost to luxury flats like most others.
No.
Always happens. Man.
Yeah.
Do you know the tune About Today by The National?
Yeah.
That was my first thing. That was my like hearing any kind of music like that, because I'm just like obsessed with like whatever folk based kind of, you know, like singer-songwriter thing. And yeah, hearing that for the first time, and it was at the end of like that Tom Hardy film called The Warrior.
Oh yeah,
do you remember that
one?
Yeah. It's like instantly had to look up like, who is this guy? I love the conversational thing, like that
special,
effortless baritone is beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
So do you ever do any like collaborative writing or anything?
I do,
like
yeah.
that?
I've mostly, I think probably over half of the music that I have out is co-written or three-way written. I write mostly with just friends or I love it. I really love it. And I love, because I always felt like I'm happy with lyrics. I don't feel like I need much input or guidance. I feel like I know what story I want to tell. But with melody, I love writing with somebody else to pull me out of my own skin. Do you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And is it still a collaborative process when you go in to like record it as well? Or is it just do you have like an idea of what you want things to sound like and be arranged like? Or right, okay.
I'm still really open to other people's interpretation, but I am really, I guess with some songs, no, but I know what I like and I know what I don't, but I'm not I don't often hear an arrangement in my head. I'm not that good, but I do know. Okay, I really would like some French horn on this, or I would really like it to feel like this. But I mean, I've played with a guy called Tom Fripp, who you know.
Yeah.
Or since I was like 17, and I would just say things to him like, can you just make this sound silky? And he understands. I don't have all the terminology.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can you make this sound? I don't know. I'd come up with a random adjective.
Yeah.
And that has nothing to do with music, but he gets it. And I think I can't always get it in that sense. I can't arrange a 4-part string arrangement in my head, but I know what I want it to feel like.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's half the battle. I remember one of the first times I met Frit. It would be funny if Frit remembered this, but he was like a few years above us in college, and so I was like guitarist in the same course as him.
Yeah.
And one of the first things I heard of him playing was just like when I had him on Facebook and he shared a song that you did. It was just like on SoundCloud.
Oh, me?
It was a tune that you guys did together. It was beautiful as well. And I remember like...
Was this years ago?
This is years ago,
yeah. Are you fangirling right now?
I'm not... Okay.
I wonder what it is.
I don't know. I was listening to some of your stuff earlier on and I couldn't find it, so it's probably just like...
Really old.
Yeah.
From the archive.
Not to fangirl, just like...
I'm joking,
it's just like that's one of the first times I met for it. And was like... Oh, like people do this in university when you meet someone older than you. It's like, oh man, that guitar what you did was so good. And like, what were you thinking when you know what I mean? At like a house party, it's like, oh my god, will you shut up? I'm just having a good time.
It's mad. I was thinking the other day, it's mad how long we've known each other now, because I still feel like a kid, but we've obviously known each other for like, I don't know, nearly 7 years now, which is crazy. And we've grown together, and he sort of can read my mind now, which I love, like especially on stage. I just feel really safe, and he's just like I feel like a never-ending well of creativeness and inspiration, and I feel really lucky to have met him so young.
How did you guys meet?
We met because I was doing a small tour when I was really young, and needed a couple of guys to play with me. I was in a band, and it ended, and I just wanted to meet some new musicians, and I was recording at a studio in Chester, and they just put like an ad out, and then a guy called Charles got in touch and said, and we met, and then I said, do you know anyone else? And he said, I know this guy called Tom. And then Charles got really busy because he was on tour with another band, and me and Tom just ended up doing more and more, and Tom could just arrange like string, like I was saying before, he could just arrange a 4-part string arrangement in his head and like score it out, and I just love watching him work, and I can't really speak highly enough of him. I just feel really thankful that he's been on board, and he's introduced me to so many more amazing musicians through obviously the college, and it's brilliant. Everyone's so talented, and I mean, I don't know what I'm doing, but
yeah. Do you have like a fixed band lineup at the moment?
I don't. It's all really flexible, really. Like it depends what we need. Since I was about 18, I haven't done a gig with drums. It's just not been feasible, and I'd look. That's my. I know that when I get to that, eventually, when I can do that, and there's a big enough stage, or the money is good enough to justify having bass and drums, it's going to feel so good, because I've not heard these songs fleshed out like that. But yeah, normally it's just like a trio. Like I will have someone who, like Tom, will play guitar, keys, and then like Danny Addison, who plays violin, and he also sings, and he can play piano and guitar too, so we can all switch around. So yeah, we've been mostly doing that, and then occasionally when we can have more, get someone else, but normally it is mostly just me on my own, sadly, which is lonely. Yeah.
So you've just put out your latest single, Always, haven't you? Which has a wonderful music video with it, which if you guys at home haven't seen it, I would recommend you go and watch it. I really enjoyed it when I watched it.
Thank you.
Do you want to tell us a bit about what that song's about?
Yeah. So I wrote that song the end of 2019 with my friend Archie Folkes, who's also a singer-songwriter from London, and I just had this piano little whirly motif actually, and I had the line about leave the TV on, it gets so quiet when you're gone, I'll watch people selling houses or something about, and that in my head was like just painted a picture of loneliness, just watching dodgy daytime TV.
Mm-hmm.
And then it sort of all progressed from there, and it became this big, like the chorus is all this, paints this huge grand romance picture in like a cobbled square, and they're waltzing, and I wanted it to be sort of this whole story about how loneliness can really play with your mind and make you believe things that maybe didn't really happen, or maybe they did happen, or and then we sort of expanded on that with the video. But yeah, we wrote that, and then in the summer Archie came over to my house and we spent a week recording that and another song just from my house, and he produced it. It was his first like proper production, because normally he's obviously just an artist and writing. So yeah, we just did it all through the pandemic, really. Yeah.
Oh, nice. For the people at home, can you sort of describe what the video is like? It's kind of hard to.
Yeah. So it came from my idea that when I wrote the song, I knew the scene I was seeing, which was a sort of a square or cobbled street in a foreign country, maybe like Turin or somewhere beautiful, with the dusky sky and the glowy lamps and buildings, and this, I saw this like city park scene where there would be like an old 50 style dance sequence. So I saw this huge crazy thing, and I thought it'd be funny if I tried to dance. Like, wouldn't that be funny? I haven't danced at school, like PE, and I thought I really enjoy making music videos. They're really important to me. I just love it, and if no matter who sees it, I don't care. For me, it goes hand in hand with the song.
Yeah.
And if I can try and do one, I will try my best. And I just had this crazy idea, but I knew I wanted to do this dance, and then at the end it all fall apart, as if it wasn't. At first I thought maybe the sides should fall apart, or I wanted to come up with an idea of how to have this grand scene, and then throughout it you realize it's not really real, almost like the Truman Show, and then at the end there's like on the last beat it all falls apart. And the boy disappears, and this whole romance was it real, was it not, so we sort of came up with the idea that I was speaking to, because we made it with a really, really small group of us, and it was mainly just me and my friend, really close friend Ollie Bradley Baker from West Kirby, who made like all my old videos, and we sort of like met when we were young, and we grew together, and we made like the first videos we made were like me just running around a field, really low budget, just like in the lakes, just frolicking around a field for the day. And we've slowly like, this one he was like, I think we need a lighting designer, and I was like, what? A lighting? I'm not Beyonce. Why would we need why do we need lights? Like, you just bring a little light and put it on, and that's fine. And he's like, no, I really think we need a lighting designer. So he was like, my friend Ed can do it, and he was great. And he came up with the idea at the end to drop the backdrop and have it all projected on my skin. And I really like that sort of blend of like the really old school 50s movie with the digital real gritty world, and I really like that contrast. So we sort of did it all based around that, and built the set in a local theatre, and I just had to learn to dance, and then then we did it. I don't know if I've described that very well, but I try my best.
That was a very good description. Did you do the choreographing and what?
I didn't know. So the amazing dancer in it, Oliver, I sent him a reference to this scene which is based on, and we're dressed exactly the same as in a film called The Bandwagon, which is with Fred Astaire and Sid Charisse, and they're dancing in Central Park, and they're dressed just like us, and it's sort of like a dance of courtship. So they begin. I knew I wanted that, so I sort of described I want them to be like tentative at the beginning, and then him suck me in, sort of like a seduction almost, and then we partner and waltz for the chorus, and then there's a bench scene with footwork, so I sort of give him a outline, and then he just did the most beautiful choreography, and that he knew that, because I said I'm a beginner, like we can't go too far.
Take it easy.
He was like, don't worry, I'll be lifting you for most of it, so he's mainly just like swinging me around. But yeah, it was good fun.
Yeah, it looks really really good. Yeah, people do go home and check it. Sophie, where can people find your stuff online?
They can find on Instagram, Sophie Morgan Music, Facebook, same. My website, sophiemorgan.co.uk, and YouTube, same thing.
Awesome. Have you got, I mean, obviously you've just released this new single. Have you got any more plans for the rest of the year in terms of what you're going to be doing?
At the moment, I'm just gathering as many songs as I can.
Right.
So I've just been stockpiling over lockdown. At first I wasn't productive, didn't really have much wasn't coming. I was getting tired of all what I'd written. But now I feel like I've hit a stride, so I'm just trying to gather as many as possible, and then I'll call my friends and, when I can, legally see them and work on them, I think. Yeah. And hopefully get some more singles out by the end of the year.
Yeah.
Hopefully. But I mean, I don't know what the year looks like at the moment.
I know.
Have you found like the kind of subject matter that you're writing about, has that changed now that you found your stride? Are you kind of writing more about like what's actually going on in the world right now, or?
Yeah, like I mentioned the word mask in a song, which I was like, I made a vow. I was like,
yeah, that's the line. Isn't
I did make a vow. I was like, don't speak about the pandemic. No one wants to hear about it. We all want to forget. But then I wrote a line about it. So I mean, it's hard not. It's been so long. It's hard not to reflect that, and you know, it makes it situations so strange, and maybe there's some poetry in there somewhere. I don't know. But
yeah, maybe people have to give it time as well. Just like to, in like 40 years from now, people will be writing about it all over the place, and they, you know, like reminiscing kind of thing.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I wonder if this is something like your grandkids going to ask you about. It's like, oh, you were in the pandemic, weren't you? Exactly. What was it like? It's like, I just sat around and chilled for
most of
eating pizza.
A lot of pizza as well.
Yeah,
oh
just chilling. Yeah, been crazy, man. Been crazy.
Yeah.
So for the people at home, we have a bit of an announcement to do today. So I don't know if you saw the episode last week with William KZ, where we got a little bit sozzled. Apologies. But we are going to be doing a collaboration with these wonderful people from Fooditions Daily. They are an Instagram food company. Basically, we're going to be collaborating with them so that each week you can have the opportunity to have baked treats and things delivered to you. And then whilst you're watching the live stream, you can have that. We're going to be theming it with the artist. So whatever the artist's favourite thing is going to be what's going to be on offer. We did do a little promo video, which we're just going to play for you now, so you can have a little look. We'll go into some more details in a little bit, but we're also going to be sampling some of their lovely stuff. So go on, James, play that lovely video for the people at home. I spent 6 hours today editing this.
You did?
Yes. Sophie can't see it though.
I can see it.
Oh, you can see it in the reflection.
It looks tasty.
It's honestly the food they make.
Perpetually hungry throughout the whole thing.
I was, and I was also incredibly hungover as well. So this is going on. But the food that they make is so good. But yeah, we're gonna have some of their little what was it? It's Biscoff and something brownies, chocolate chip brownies. I did sample one before.
I had a little bit, Brad.
I couldn't help myself.
I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. I had quite a big bit, I'll tell the truth.
But they're really good. So yeah, people at home, please go and check out Fooditions Daily. If you want to order food for next week, they're going to be doing it through their Instagram, and also I think they've got an email. But we'll put the details up on the screen for that. I'll do it in post. James is giving me a worried look from the back over there. So, Sophie, I'm going to ask you, you have a question. It's two versions of the question.
Okay.
One is your traditional desert island discs.
Okay.
The other is a wild card desert island. Well, it's not really a desert island. It's got a desert island in it. The other one is a guy that we had on a few weeks ago called Ashley Garnered. He came up with this question, and I quite like it.
Yeah.
It's basically 5. So you can do your 5 desert island discs, or you can do one album sung by any singer. So you can basically replace whoever sung it with another voice.
Wait, what? Sorry.
So, like, for example, you could have Fleetwood Mac's Rumours sung by Michael Ball. Do you get what I mean? Not that you...
Don't, please.
Not that, I don't trust him. I think the fact that he's everywhere is why I don't like him.
The mums love him though.
They do love him,
God,
don't they?
Yeah.
So, which version of the question do you want to do? Traditional desert island discs?
Yeah,
or?
let's do traditional.
Yeah.
Let's do traditional.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to get too confused.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So go on. 4 or 5 albums that you.
August and Everything After by the Counting Crows, just because Counting Crows have they're like a part of the family, because my parents were into them when, in the 90s, and when I was born, my mum was having a cesarean, and they said, do you want us to put the radio on to calm your nerves? And A Long December came on as I was born, which is a Counting Crows song, and so it's always kind of been special to the family, that band. So I'd say August and Everything After, because it's a classic. Second, let me think. God, it's so. I need to get my iTunes up. I need to get all the. Maybe Blue by Joni.
Okay. Yeah.
Just because it changed. About when I was 14, I was mainly just listening to my dad's record collection, which I was saying was mainly men. And I met a guy called Cy Jones, who's a bassist in The Verve, at a wedding, and he started looking after me and working with me and stuff. And he just went out after the first day I met him, he went out and bought me a stack of CDs and just like, here, listen to this.
Oh,
and
nice.
it's like Tapestry and Blue, and I listened to Blue and I was like, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Nice.
that one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Brighter Later. Is that the name of the album? It is, isn't it? Brighter Later.
By
Nick
Nick Drake. Yeah. But it's spelled really weird. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because that was always on
Yeah.
in the house as a
Yeah.
kid.
It's beautiful.
I'm gonna get that. It's so hard.
I know.
It's a hard one.
It's one of them.
So
Is like
hard.
when someone asks you to like think of a collection of things,
'Cause
your mind just goes.
Well, yeah, and
wrong.
I don't want to say like the wrong, where I'm
Yeah.
like, how could I must be forgetting one of my. I love every national album, so that's impossible to choose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't choose.
Have they got like a greatest hits album that you
Maybe,
could like,
yeah.
you could slide in there?
Every national song ever. And God, I should have prepared for this one.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. That's cool.
Let me think about the last
Yeah,
It'll
one.
you
come
have
back
the
to
thing.
you, yeah.
you have
Let
the
me
thing.
think.
I think one thing that struck me was when we had Sean on, and like people love sad music, right? I
Yeah.
love sad music as much as the next person. Like just a lot of like Nick Drake and that kind of thing, and Bon Iver, because it's beautiful. Let's
Yeah.
face it. But Sean pointed out, it's like, well, I'm on a desert island on my own, so I'm going to have some absolute bangers. And then it occurred to me that if he was like on the adjacent desert island from me, and I'm sat there listening to For Emma, like with my campfire, and I'm watching him listen to like Bob Marley, just like having a great time. And I'll be like,
so true.
I was like, oh damn. So yeah, I guess that influences.
So
you can't go for like
about.
if it's too chilled and too like beautiful, lush folk kind of thing. You might get pretty sad.
I never considered that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Yeah, you got to mix it up a bit. You got to
Yeah.
have some sort of.
He had
party tunes
Blue
in there.
Hawaii, didn't he?
Yeah, Elvis, Blue Hawaii,
Yeah.
which is a great album. I
Yeah,
listened to it the other day. It was good. Funny that you should mention Tapestry. I listened to that for the first time today.
Really?
Great album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
I love the
music
cover.
guitar.
I love the front cover
Yeah.
with a cat. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe how good the guitar sounds. And all the earlier albums. I went through them all in like lockdown. What number are we on now? Like lockdown 2 or whatever it was. Yeah.
5. I don't know.
Yeah, the guitars, like the production just sounds beautiful, doesn't it? It's
does.
so warm.
And the bass.
So
I don't know who
warm.
the bass player is, but my God,
Yeah.
they're incredible.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, this. I was like,
George, can you have a look
Beautiful.
for us? I feel like it's
Yeah.
someone really. I think like
it's not
Someone
Carol
like-
Kay, is it, on bass? Because she was on. So it's Carol King, Tapestry. Just have a look for who played on it. But yeah, I was really. I mean, obviously, it's got quite a few classics on there, hasn't it?
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was great.
I just love like with those old recordings, like especially with Joni or Carol, like you can hear their feet on the pedal on the piano.
Mhm. Can you say like that's the thing he goes for? That's a really nice way of putting it.
He's a
isn't it? Just leaving
master at it though.
Yeah.
Like, I love his album Mule Variations.
Yeah, it's just beautiful, isn't it?
And for that reason, you feel like you're in the house, like you're
Yeah.
with the creaky floorboards, and I love those imperfections. And I
Yeah.
think so many people try and iron the creases out of music in that
Mhm.
sense, and it just sort of you lose the soul in the process.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
his
definitely.
I just love that album. Maybe
Yeah.
that's my album. That's the album.
Yeah, but then again, if you've got what's the Take It With Me is like the
That's
piano
my-
ballad,
Yeah.
but that on a desert island. Oh my
Yeah,
god!
yeah. Ball
Was
in
it-
your eyes out.
Yeah, was that another one of your dad's choices?
It-
Like the
yeah,
low baritone
My dad,
singer
oh,
thing.
yeah, he loves Leonard Cohen, Tom Waits, but
Mhm.
I really discovered Tom myself, through that song. Someone said, listen to the last verse, listen to the last few
Yeah.
lines.
Oh my. Yeah. Yeah.
And then I listened, I was like, oh, this song, his
Yeah.
and then I watched all his interviews obsessively because I'm obsessed with Heath Ledger and I'm obsessed with the Joker. And then I realised he is the Joker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I know. That blew my mind when I saw that.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's the last verse, isn't it? That's like
Yeah.
like songwriting like that. I've pointed out that last verse to loads of people before. Like, you hear that? Like,
Yeah.
you see what he's done?
He's a crazy dude. I mean,
He
like, when I first listened to him, I really didn't understand, because you know how he like flips between characters and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's such like a different way of writing that I'd not
Mhm.
really. Because I mean, it was probably when I was like 20 or something when I first heard him. I just didn't understand that to
Yeah.
begin with. But I think it's amazing once you understand what he's doing and his
Mhm.
process. But he's a crazy dude.
I thought that because at first when I heard Take It With Me and then I expected another 12 similar to that,
Yeah.
and then a chocolate box Jesus or something. I was like,
I was just scared.
Filipino box spring hog. This is like, yeah.
oh, have you heard what's he building in there?
That's hilarious.
Yes.
I used to, when these guys were like, we lived together in a house in United. I used to like put that on really quiet in the kitchen when they're all cooking, just like three people.
There'd just be a feeling of
Building
tension.
it.
Just like,
There's some
What's
great
going on?
lines like, "There's formaldehyde underneath the sink of course." No, sorry.
No,
there's
the-
poison
the-
underneath
the
the sink,
sink.
and enough formaldehyde to choke a horse. He's a genius. He really is.
he is,
He's
man.
amazing.
He's great. Did we find out who was on that Carol Kay album?
Yeah.
Let's have a
So
look.
you were asking the bass
Joni?
player?
Joni did backing vocals.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
James Taylor got stuck in as well.
Nice.
Of course.
Yep.
Have we got his bass? Perry Steinberg. I don't think I've... Oh, wait. There's either. Oh, Charles Larkey as well.
David Campbell.
Your dad?
my dad was on cello and viola. No way.
I didn't know he did that one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
We have a couple of questions
All right.
as well over here.
Yeah,
so
sure.
we've got one
Let's hear 'em.
from Lucas saying, "Hey Sophie, when you start working or you have an idea for a new song, do you write the music first or the lyrics?"
Hi, Lucas. I think I know who this is because he's an amazing fan. I think he's in Switzerland. But yeah, I think music and lyrics comes both at the same time. It's never a set formula. It's always it's different whether I sit at the piano or the guitar or I'm writing with another. Sometimes it can just come from one specific line that I have written down or a story that I want to express of an event or just a really beautiful melody that then the words just flow out and fit into. That's it.
Cool.
Great.
Awesome.
And Colin says, "Can't wait to hear you play live again."
Yeah, I can't wait to play live again. I've forgotten how to do it.
Out of practice.
So rusty, but yeah, I can't wait.
And then we have a question for you, Brad.
For me? Oh, go on. What we got? Who's it from? It's not my mum, is it?
Not this one.
Go on.
It's from Graham McCusker.
Okay, yeah. What does
And
Graham have to ask?
Graham's asking, "Brad, have you ever written lyrics?"
Have I ever written lyrics? Well, Graham, yes, I have written lyrics many times before. I still do write lyrics.
It's funny you should say that because we've got some evidence of
Don't
that
you
right here.
fucking did you set me up for that? You assholes. There's a young me without a mustache. Bloody hell.
So
for the
young.
no.
Do you want to describe what we're watching,
Yeah,
Brad?
so for the people on the audio podcast, we're watching. Why have you pulled this up? This is a Christmas song I wrote 5 or 6 years ago. That's George. Wow. Yeah, it's got. I mean, I think it's got quite a few views on it now because obviously it comes around every year. But yeah, this period of my life was like kind of the last bit of writing that I did for a while, and then I kind of just stopped. But I'm kind of getting back into it now. So to answer your question, Graham, yes, I have written lyrics, and I am starting to write stuff again. I don't know whether I'll actually do anything with it, but I like to write for myself these days. So there you go, Graham. There's your question. Answered. Any other... thanks for setting me up like that, guys. Any other questions from our audience?
That's all for now, but if you do have any more questions, do let us know.
Yeah, please do. And for the people at home that are watching, thank you for watching live. We are running this on a donation basis. So if you want to help us out putting this stuff on, helps us to help with booking the artists, building the set, all that sort of stuff. We'll put a little link in the description so you can we're doing, and our Rec Room series, which will hopefully be coming back after these restrictions are lifted. It's all going to be on there, and we'll also be releasing a new series soon. Whilst you're on the internet as well, obviously follow Sophie's stuff online as well. So Sophie came in earlier today, and she did a little performance in our studio. Which was delightful. So I think we're going to go for a little break for some music. Sophie, for the people at home, do you want to tell them anything, what to expect or anything before we go into it?
Is this, so the first one is Bar to Bar, right?
I think it
on
is,
guitar, yeah. So, this song came out on my third EP last year. It's find the video on YouTube, the official video. If you like the song, you can find it there.
Awesome, cool. Well, we'll be back in about 10-15 minutes. I hope you enjoy Sophie's music, and we'll be back and be chatting some more shit in a bit. Right, we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Hi, I'm Sophie Morgan, and this song's called Bar to Bar. It's like you're waiting for me, living in solitaire. Every time I spin it, you were there. You always were so forgetful. Guitar in the taxi boot, running down London Road in your funeral suit. And I think about it all the time when I can't sleep. All our nights, from bar to bar, singing and sleeping in your car. All our fights and sorry songs, it all went right and then it all went wrong. I heard that her name was Lucy. Well, that's a pretty name, and that you're getting married the end of May. And I heard it all the time when I can't sleep. All our nights, from bar to bar, singing, sleeping in your car. All our fights and sorry songs, it all went right and it all went wrong. And oh, when you're home, tell me how I've grown and how the time has flown. And stay an hour or so, then guess you're cold and go. All our nights, from bar to bar, singing and sleeping in your car. All our fights and sorry songs, it all went right and then it all went wrong. It all went wrong.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Okay, this next one is not yet released, but this is called Spider. He came home on a Thursday night, called hello from the hallway. It was gone a quarter to 9. Got caught out in the rains. Isn't it strange how it always rains on Thursday? Spider, spider, tie your lies around her. Spider, spider, silently way that he likes. Phone keeps ringing in his pocket. She looks down but doesn't think twice. It's probably just the office. Isn't it strange how he never stays on his birthday? Spider, spider, tie your lies around her. Spider, spider, silently screaming. Spider, spider, spin your little dancer. Spider, spider, crawling in, crawling in, crawling in, crawling inside her. He's hungry for something sweet. Shame you didn't see the webs that he would weave. Never thought he'd be crawling in, crawling inside me. Thank you. I'll be back in a second. This song is my last single. It's called Always. Leave the TV on. It gets so quiet when you're gone. I'll watch people selling houses or something. Make myself a drink, then pour it down the sink. Sit in the hall waiting for the phone to ring. And when I close my eyes and I drift away into the night, to the night, I'm with you, we're there, waltzing through the cobbled square. Violins and the trumpets play, and I swore that I heard you say, always, I wait by the clock, but nobody comes to knock. Why put a pretty dress just to take it off? And when I close my eyes and I drift away into the night, to the night, I'm with you, and we're there, waltzing through the cobbled square. Violins and the trumpets play, and I swore that I heard you say, always, 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 always. Pouring champagne, I'm a wonderful host. I take my seat, say let's let's make a toast, raising my glass to a table of ghosts. I'm with you, and we're there, waltzing through the cobbled square. Violins and the trumpets play, and I swore that I heard you say the music dies, and I come to in my night dress in the living room. The neighbors think that I've gone mad. Maybe I have, maybe I have. I swore you said always, 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 always. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Sophie, where can people find you online?
They can find me on my website, sophiemorgan.co.uk, and then Sophie Morgan on Instagram, Facebook, Sophie Morgan Music, all that stuff.
Cool, lovely. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, and welcome back to episode 11 of the Kicking Back podcast. You just heard some lovely music from Sophie Morgan, our guest today. Did you enjoy playing in our tiny little studio,
I
Sophie?
did. It was very cozy.
Yeah, it was very, very lovely. Thank you for coming in and doing that. It was great. We have with us right now some samples from our new collaboration, which we're doing, which we were just eating before we started, which we shouldn't have done. But yeah, we're doing a collaboration with. I'll show them. Sort of, if people can see, I don't know. We'll show them on what their stuff on the camera anyway. But yeah, we're doing a collaboration with a company called Food Editions Daily. They are food company, and they're going to be offering to do baked goods whilst you watch the stream. You can have it delivered to your house, and you can enjoy them whilst you're watching the stream. Doesn't that sound lovely? I think next week they're going to be doing a cookie dough selection of things. So can we pull that up on the screen so people can see what the options are? So that's a picture of what's going to be going on. What are the different flavours that we've got for it, James?
So, next week they'll have a classic chalk chip, a double chalk chip, a peanut butter, and cookies and cream. Apostrophe.
Delightful.
And those will be 80 pence. I think they're going to do it as an ice cream scoop.
Okay, right, okay.
So it's 80 pence a scoop.
Nice.
And then £3 for one of each. So £3 for four.
It's a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bargain.
And how to order those? If you DM or email Fooditions by Tuesday, 9th of March, midnight, they will prepare all the orders, and their collection only, it's M168LW. I'm sure if you message them, they'll give you a bit more detail on that. And the collection will be on the Wednesday, the 10th of March, next Wednesday. They are offering free delivery if you're unable to collect, but you have to live in a 2 to 3 mile radius of M16. So
Cool.
yeah, minimum spend is £3.
Okay, cool.
There are also vegan options available.
Oh, there are they? Well,
Yeah.
they've really got it all covered, haven't they? That's wonderful. Sophie, what did you think of the...
I thought they were magnificent.
Unbelievable.
good.
They
Yeah.
are so good.
And the cookie was amazing too. Like from last week.
Oh, yeah.
They are so good.
I know. They're
Yeah.
great. They're a great pair. We did the filming for the promo yesterday. And it was good fun. We've got some behind the scenes footage of it that I'm sure we'll put in on our socials next week. So if you want to find us on our social media, please find us at Rec Rooms on Instagram, Facebook. We also have a new website, recrooms.co.uk. That's right, isn't it, James? That is right. So please go on there and check that out. Sophie, if people want to find your stuff online, where can they have a look?
My Instagram, Sophie Morgan Music. Facebook, the same.
Don't eat food like on TV shows and stuff now.
They take really small bites.
Yeah, they're real
you know.
polite, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, and whilst you're on the internet, please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel because Sophie's live session is going to be going live on Friday, and then this episode of the podcast, in case you aren't watching it live right now, it'll be going live on Saturday. And it will also be going on as an audio version on all good podcasting sites. So please subscribe on there. Was that good? James gave me a thumbs up there, so I think I did a good job there. Do you have any sort of other creative outlets or anything like that that you do?
I really love painting and stuff like that. I
Okay.
did that at school, but I haven't really done much of it. Apart from that, someone asked me this the other day, and they were like, "Do you have any hobbies?" And I was like, aside from music, and I was like, yeah, I do love cooking. I didn't start cooking anything until I was like 18, or maybe 16. Like up until then, couldn't even make toast.
Really?
I was terrible.
Oh, right. Okay.
I remember one day I was home alone with my mates, and my mum had made a spaghetti bolognese, and all we had to do was heat it up, like put the pasta on, and I just didn't know how to do that. And I thought, you're a disgrace. You need to, you're being too spoiled. Because my mum would just look, she would always cook. She's a great home cook, but now I've took over, and I love food and cooking, so I guess that's kind of relaxing. I just like things that take my mind off, because I find music so absorbing and writing so it is like therapeutic, but at the same time it can be taxing, because you're bringing up all those old emotions sometimes and trying to make it what you're trying to say concise and go over it and craft it, and then sometimes I just want a release where I'm not having to think. I can just do something with my hands essentially and not my brain.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, well, actually my manager, he lives in London, and he was, before COVID, was just like always just getting takeouts or going out for dinner, never would cook.
Right.
And since COVID has just become this chef supreme, like he's amazing, and it's all really authentic Italian, and he's even started his own TikTok just with and he has like really cool music in the background, and he's there cooking, and it's so cool. And like when I go and stay with him, if I'm working in London, I come in like at the end of a session that we really late at night, and there'll be this slap up meal, like, and it's amazing. It's like not just home cooking, it's like I feel like he's just another level, and it's so good. So yeah, my manager has just become this top chef over lockdown, transformed himself.
Nice.
So cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Matt, what would your like show-stopping meal be?
Oh man. So if I'm cooking for a big group of people, I'll just do, I don't know whether I should, I call it the Sexican, okay? And it's like the sexy Mexican, because it's just like, it's just like everything Mexican that you would like, just like in a big pile.
Yeah.
So, and I love doing that because it's so easy and like what's not to like.
Yeah.
Kind of same thing with Italian food, isn't it? Just like a big pile of like cheese
Oh.
and carbs. And
Oh.
yeah. I know.
I went to the supermarket the other day, and you know how like I went on this course once with my granddad, and it was just like a day course where they told that it was this really cool Italian lady, and she taught you all the techniques and taught you a few dishes, and she was like, only buy pasta where you don't understand the packet. It must be all written in Italian, otherwise it's not good pasta. So I always listen to that. And I went to, obviously it's only that kind of pasta because it's more expensive, is in really good supermarkets, and I was in a good one the other day, and I just saw it all on all the different types, and it's just so, I'm just so like, it just attracts me, like all of those, like there's like rigatoni and all of that, and I'm just like, I'm just gonna buy one of each of all of it. Yeah, it's a passion. I love it. I love Italy in general, everything about it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Absolutely. I do find since like, I used to cook for people a lot, and that's how I always enjoyed cooking instead. But since lockdown and like cooking for myself, it doesn't feel the same. Like, taking it serious. So like after like a couple of weeks, I was like, I'm just gonna buy a pizza. I'm just I can't justify like cooking this beautiful like Michelin star looking thing and then just sitting on my own. And, like,
yeah.
well, it's great, but
Yeah,
I love cooking for other people though. I like it.
Yeah.
That's like a really nice. I love doing like brunch for people and stuff like that.
Yeah, I love brunch.
Yeah. What about you, Rad? What's your showstopper?
I would go. It's probably a part of the Sexicon, but like it's my own version of the Sexicon. I do like this kind of. We had them the other week, didn't we? Those what are they called? Not burritos. They're like
Enchiladas, right?
enchiladas. They're like vegetarian, but you like char, peppers, sweet corn, and then you put in you do like a cumin, kidney beans, and then you put like fresh peppers, coriander, lime, salt, pepper. Put them in the wrap. So you basically make a Mexican salad, and then you do like a tomato sauce, and obviously shitloads of cheese on top. Delightful,
Beautiful,
unbelievable.
Sounds great.
and you
It's
can
good.
have mountains of it as well.
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's not
Yeah.
really that bad for you, I don't think. Apart from the shitloads of cheese, obviously.
A Mexican always has like guacamole, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
love avocados.
Mm-hmm.
Love them.
It's all good. Would you say you are more of a starter or dessert kind of person?
I don't know, because I was saying to you before, I was allergic to eggs until I was 17, so most of my growing up didn't really get to have many sweet things, you know, because
Okay.
everything's got egg in. Most cakes have egg
Yeah.
in and stuff like that. But I do love them. But yeah, I love a good starter as well. I don't know. I just love it all. I'd have all three. You know? why are we choosing?
That's a good point. Well, Matt, what about you? Are you a starter or a
Uh,
sweet person?
After these brownies, man, I'm gonna have to say sweet
so
person.
good.
I don't think I
So
could go
good.
without now.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. How can I buy these?
Well, that's a good question, Sophie.
Because I don't live local.
Okay.
But I will make the trip.
You'll go out your way for these guys.
Yeah.
Well, they're based in Manchester. I think they're doing. I mean, I don't know if they deliver that far. They might do a little special deal for you, Sophie, maybe if you
You'd
ask
hope
them
so.
nicely. But we can send you over a little goodie bag if you want some more of these.
Oh
We've
my
got loads of it. Honestly, they made so much of it. It's good. It's good.
So good.
See, I'm not much of a sweet tooth person, but yeah, this stuff is just like crack.
Yeah, man, I know what to say.
I know, as in like, come on. I mean, obviously, you know, when I'm a bit like off my head or whatever, I'll obviously munch on whatever. But like, you
Two
know,
words, Bradley Ingham.
Oh, go on.
Range dessert.
Yeah, but that, like I said, when I'm off my head, that's a different story, isn't it? You know. I mean, when I'm my normal self.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I've seen you like in a sensible state munching on a range dessert a fair few times.
I'm a changed man now, George. That was the old me. You know, that's a different me. You know, I'm a different man now.
What was your go-to dessert at range dessert out of interest, Bradley?
Oh, it was a chocolate lover's dream waffle. If you must know, which has
Sounds
like
naughty.
it is very naughty. It's like a waffle with like Ferrero Rocher, like just melted chocolate, white chocolate,
Kinder Bueno,
Kinder Bueno, Snickers,
yeah, just
like basically just everything. Do you know what I mean? That's the thing. I was,
on a waffle.
yeah, on a waffle. It's so gratuitous.
How expensive is that thing, Brad?
Oh, I think it's like £9-10. It's ridiculous like that. I'm trying to steer clear of that now because you get to a certain age in your life, it's like I can't keep eating that.
Yeah. It's
Sort
when you
of
know
stuff.
the delivery driver, isn't it? Like,
It's
it's like, Brad, you again, man.
It's you again. I can't believe it.
No.
Well, we're keeping them in business, man.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Did
yeah.
you get into films over lockdown? I mentioned a few already.
Yeah.
Is that like a new thing? Or?
What, did I get into films?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if I watch more film or TV series, but I just finished Hannibal, which has Mads Mikkelsen in it. Which like normally I have a rule, I don't watch above a 12 if it's horror.
Okay.
Oh, really?
I have a rule.
That's a crazy rule.
Yeah, because I'm a wimp. Like, I can't.
Oh, really? You can't hack it?
I'm really sensitive.
Okay.
So I can't deal with like torture or blood guts. I can't deal with anything now. I've seen someone eat their own ear, so but yeah, that's one of them that I watched.
Okay. Was there any particular films or anything that you watched that you're like, that's pretty awesome?
Before lockdown, this is a couple of years ago, but one of my favourite recent films was Call Me By Your Name, which I made a video like in south of France for one of my songs called Marmalade, and it was sort of like inspired. I just loved the imagery in that film. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
With Timothy Chalamet. It's like a gay romance I think it's set in Italy, and it's really beautiful and poignant, and yeah, you should watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We watched an amazing film the other day called Her. Have you seen that?
I don't know. I feel
It's
like I've
got-
heard of that.
It's got Joaquin, is that how you say it?
Oh.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Oh, no, it's man.
I have seen that. Is it with Emma Stone?
No.
Is she a student?
No.
No.
It's the one, I won't give it too much away, but it's like set sort of in the future, and it's got Scarlett Johansson, basically he falls in love with an AI person.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Honestly, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It broke my heart.
Yeah,
it
we're
really did.
just like sat around after watching it, just like no one's saying a word, just like, oh my god.
I
And
love
it's
him.
beautiful though. I love
Yeah.
those kind of films. Music's beautiful, and
I'm gonna watch that. I
Yeah,
haven't seen that.
just
definitely
I've seen
do.
a lot of his films because
Yeah.
like since I saw him as Johnny Cash in Walk the Line, I've just been obsessed with him. I think
Yeah.
he's brilliant.
And the Joker as well, another amazing
Yeah.
Joker alongside.
That was kind of tough. I watched that in the cinema and felt kind of drained after watching it in a way.
Yeah,
It was
I know
kind
what you
of
mean.
hard going, but great. All
Mhm.
the best films are, but yeah, he was brilliant in that as well.
Yeah. I feel like he's it seems like he's quite like selective of what he does, and it seems
Yeah.
like he's which is probably why all his films are amazing, do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But yeah, he's just, he really delves into the role in a beautiful way. But yeah, that Her film was just,
Yeah.
it was a game changer,
Mhm.
definitely. I recommend that. And there was, what was the Jim Carrey one we watched the other day as well that was,
Have you seen that Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
No,
That's another
I've
one.
not heard of that.
Yeah, you should definitely watch that as well. It's just another beautiful film that just kind of makes you not say a word for like an hour after watching it.
Yeah,
I love films like that, man. And just like beautiful soundtracks as well.
yeah.
So, yeah, definitely. I think over lockdown is good for like films that make you think.
definitely, man, definitely.
It's like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was one of your tracks got used on a series, wasn't it? Was it Siren or
Yeah,
something?
it was last year, this time last year, I think, in quarantine, and I got to see it like on this big US show, and it was about this mermaid, and it was so magical, and it was during a really dramatic scene, like the mermaid baby was being born, and the surrogate Earth mother was dying, and the baby was born, and the mermaid mother came and held the baby and was like, "Take her to the water," and my song was on, and it was just like, it was so cool, and I was like, "What the hell?" We recorded that upstairs, and it's now on US TV. I was like, "This is so cool." It was great.
That's crazy. And what's so the series is about like mermaid?
Yeah,
people?
this is its third season that I was
Okay.
on, or third season. So it's been going for a while and it's really successful. I don't know if the actress is British, but it's a super big US show, and it's all about she's a mermaid, and I haven't actually watched it, but I watched the episode I was in.
Obviously.
But yeah, it was so strange because because obviously when you hear that that's going to happen, you don't know if they're going to just use the instrumental, if they're going to use 30 seconds of it, like a really small, really low minimal amount. And then when I saw it, I was like, wow, they use so much of it. And I thought they chose it because in the song there's this sort of very Irish feel of the violins sort of dueling in the middle of it, and I thought it had a fisherman-y vibe, and I thought that's why they chose it.
Yeah.
And they really didn't feature much of that. It was because of the lyrics, some of the lyrics in the verse, so you just don't know why something pricks the people's, why it gets chosen. And I was really pleasantly surprised. It was so cool. Loved it. I loved it. I would love that to happen again,
Yeah,
So cool.
that's awesome. We were saying to someone the other week that I'd love to have that job of being the soundtrack person for a film. Do you know what I mean?
Some films just have spot on soundtracks.
Yeah. But in particular that Sunshine, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was just like, I don't know. It's such a skill to be able to like knit those things together, like beautiful imagery with just like the perfect sound, and it's almost like they're like meant for each other. Do you know what I mean? But that perfect marriage of imagery and sound is it's a beautiful thing.
We were talking about the Joker then with the most recent Joker, and didn't they use a Frank song? Was it That's Life? And they repeated that, but it became so sinister in that film, and I just thought that was amazing how they made such a joyous old Frankie song into something so sinister, and I just thought, wow, whoever was behind that was pretty clever. It's a pretty smart choice.
Yeah, it's great. Sorry about
have you like thought about trying some acting, like doing more like acting within your own music videos or something? You've done the dancing now.
Yeah, and I guess there's acting involved in any music video because it's so unnatural, because you're not even singing. It's so weird. But I hate it. I think I'm dreadful. I really think. I remember being a kid and being at like a stagecoach, because I was like, Mum, I want to join stagecoach, because you obviously do like a third singing, a third dancing, a third acting. I just wanted to go for the singing, and I thought I'd get on a stage. And I remember saying to my mum, like, it's been 9 months now, Mum, and I've not seen a stage yet, and it's called Stagecoach, because we were just like in a school hall, just messing around doing Bugsy Malone or something. And I remember the first show. I think it was Bugsy Malone. I don't know why, but I remember I was a cheese. I was some type of cheese. There was like we were like Wensleydale. I don't know. Was that to do with Bugsy Malone? I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't Bugsy Malone.
You were a cheese.
I was like, I don't know if I was Wensleydale or something.
Okay.
I was in a yellow t-shirt basically.
Right, so it wasn't high budget. Like cheese costume.
And I remember the whole time I just stood there like this with my I was just so awkward, and my mum was like, you were holding your, I was like, it was really sore, my arm was sore, I made an excuse like but I just didn't. I'm just not. I would love to be, because it would make everything easier, but I think I can only act in any way when there's music playing in the background. If there's music, I can get lost in it and I can become that character if there is a character, or just get lost in the song. But once that's gone, I can't. I just find it really tough, especially with freestyle. If you're making a music video, it's normally really quick, and they're like, okay, just have a conversation. Like, we're just gonna, and I'm like, I've forgotten how to talk. Yeah, I'm not. I need some classes, I think.
Yeah. Do you find that, like, I find that with you know, you're saying like needing music and stuff. Do you find that with do you feel like you need to have an instrument to feel comfortable? Like, are you comfortable just singing on your own?
Yeah, I think because I started off that way. You know, when I was younger, like I would sing a lot like the front of a band with just a mic, and I was comfortable like that. So I feel almost just as relaxed. I like being behind the piano, and I feel like the piano, I don't feel comfortable with the guitar because it's just a second instrument that I have to play because the piano's too heavy to carry around everywhere. That's the reason I play guitar, but I know I'm not very good. I can only play it in the key of G, and that's it. I know I've just exposed myself. But that's true.
That's what cappers are for anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so my piano feels like an extension of my fingers, you know, it feels like an extra limb, but I feel stuck behind it sometimes live because I feel like I hate sitting down, especially if it's a lively, if the gig's seated in a theatre or something and it suits that, but sometimes I just want to move and it feels a bit, I feel a bit stuck.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I find it really uncomfortable not having any sort of instruments.
Yeah.
It's such a strange experience.
It's terrifying, isn't it?
It is.
Guitar's like the crutch, just like, even better on drums.
Yeah, as much distance as
yeah,
you can put
exactly. That's
between
it.
you and the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
I feel that with other musicians though. I feel as soon as there's somebody else on stage to vibe off, you're halfway there. So that makes such a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's the same with me, like being in front of a camera. Like I absolutely detest it. It's,
but you've done it so much as well. And like,
I know.
Was that more when you started off?
Well, because like this, I don't think this really counts. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause it's like you're just having a conversation or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Like music video kind of thing. Do you like?
I find it weird. I don't know. As soon as it's the cold look of the lens. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it helps if you know the person behind it.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
If it's your mate or someone you're really close to and comfortable with, and you can say, "Hold on, I'm not feeling," or you can just act like a fool and not feel embarrassed about it. I think that helps. But if it's a stranger or someone you're not quite comfortable with, that's when it becomes a bit.
Yeah, I know what you
awkward.
mean.
And when they're getting real up close as well. It's like when you're playing guitar and they're like kind of coming up from like, back off, man.
Yeah.
Try to play.
Yeah, and you always get the person that like looks down or like just like sort of darts their eyes at the lens. It's like, you bastard, you just ruined that shot. How dare you? How dare you do that? I feel like you're one of those people.
Yeah, I imagine I probably am.
You and James Bradshaw used to do that all the time, man.
Yeah, but James is gorgeous, man. You can
He's
get
so
away with
handsome. God damn it. James, did you say we had a question from the audience? No?
Yes.
Oh. Go on. What we got?
From Lucas, we have when you supported Seafret, what was your favourite city to play?
My favourite city, I love them all. But firstly, I'm not going to pick a favourite, but my favourite was Bristol because we actually only got to play half that tour, obviously, because of the lockdown. But the last show of that tour was in Bristol, and the venue was beautiful, and the sound was just great, and it was just all in all great vibe. Sold loads of marmalade and loads of t-shirts, so yeah, I like Bristol.
You sold loads of marmalade?
Yeah, because I made my third EP was called Marmalade. I have a song called Marmalade, so I thought, let's try and make some marmalade.
Nice.
Made loads of jars of it. I thought it was a good idea at the time. But I did have a sneaking feeling. I thought I'll get my nan to make it.
Right, yeah.
And then she was flat out like, I'm not doing that. She was like, just buy some from the shop and decanter it and say it's yours. I was like, I can't do that. So I had to learn from scratch how to like sterilize the jars because I didn't want to, someone to open it and it'd be moldy. So it was really stressful. And you do it for like 3 hours and you come out with 6 jars. So it's kind of,
man. Right, okay.
It's like, but I was happy in the end, and it was nice to have something different to sell rather than just a t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so,
definitely, yeah.
So it's good fun.
Yeah. And Seafret, I don't think they're a band that who are Seafret? I don't think I've heard
Seafret
of
are
them
2
before.
lads from Yorkshire.
Right.
And yeah, they just did. They started off a while ago. They've had a couple of albums out now, and it's mainly like on Spotify and YouTube. It's just crazy.
Okay.
It's just crazy the amount of fan, and they play all over the world, loads in Brazil and South America, and they asked me to open for them for their UK tour this time last year, and we
Yeah.
just got halfway through, and then
Yeah.
the world shut down. But
Yes.
it was fantastic, and their fans are all really lovely and really engaged and sweet, and they all listened, because I was kind of worried because some of the gigs were, had a standing area, which I always
Right.
worry with my stuff, especially without bass and drums. It can be, you can get lost sometimes if the crowd are a bit drunken, and but they were all great.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was good fun.
And what kind of style is would you describe it as?
I don't know. Jack, the lead singer, he's got a really powerful, amazing voice. It's just the two of them, and they play with the drummer live. I guess it's mainly like acoustic. I don't know how to describe it, to be honest. It's folky pop rock. I don't know. I don't know. It's got punch. He's got pipes. It's really powerful.
Okay, cool.
And Harry, the guitarist, has got really beautiful. Like he loves. I think he loves John Martin, and he's got a really beautiful finger picking that goes on, and yeah, it's just really melodic and really beautiful.
Okay, I'll check that out.
Yep.
I'll check that out. Okay. Have we got any more questions from the audience, James? Okay, cool. I think that's probably a good point to leave it. Sophie, thank you very much for coming on today.
Thank you for
It's been
having
lovely
me.
to have you here. I do have one more question for you.
Mhm.
If you could sum this podcast up in 3 words, what would it be?
Cozy,
Yeah.
tasty, and cozy, tasty, and lovely.
Oh, that's
awesome.
delightful. Matthew?
Such good cookies. Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it, man. That's
Nice.
it.
Those were brownies, though.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you
I
know
was
what I mean.
just got called out. I didn't want to call you out on it, but James did, so I feel that's fine.
Same thing. Tasty treats.
I'm going to go... Sophie is awesome.
Ah.
There we go. Lovely.
messy.
So, Sophie, one last time, where can people find your stuff online?
On Sophie Morgan Music on Instagram, Facebook, sophiemorgan.co.uk, YouTube, Spotify, all that stuff.
Yeah. Lovely. Well, thank you very much for coming on today, Sophie.
Thank you for having
It's been
me.
great. And of course, find our stuff online on YouTube. We've got our new website, rackaroons.co.uk. We also have a new artist submissions form. So if you are an artist, or if you know some people that are an artist that you think would be good to have on our podcast series or on our Rackaroon series, or we've got our new solo artist series, which we're going to be announcing fairly soon, then please get on there and submit those sweet forms our way. Next week we have Grio Gabriel on. I think we're going to be that's the week we're going to be taking orders for our food dishes thing. So if you go on our social media this week, we're going to be telling you more about that. So please check that out. Matthew, anything to say to the audience before we go?
No, man.
No?
I think I've covered it all. Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Sophie, you're happy. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, thank you very much for watching at home. Thank you for listening if you're listening on the podcast, and we'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.